There was a season in my life when I felt like everyone had passed me. Their careers, their bodies, their relationships, all light years ahead of mine. And I remember thinking, how did I fall so far behind? What did I do wrong? But I've learned something since then, something that completely changed how I see progress. And if you're feeling behind right now, if it feels like everyone else is further along while you're just stuck, then this might change everything for you too. In this video, I want to share 4 truths that helped me to break free from the shame spiral of feeling behind, and then walk you through a 3-step process to reclaim your own timeline and move forward with confidence. Here's the thing, we weren't designed to compare ourselves to hundreds, let alone thousands of people at once. And yet, that's exactly what we do every single day. The average person spends over 2.5 hours a day on social media. And in that time, we are flooded with the highlight reels of people's lives, job promotions, new homes, wedding photos, baby announcements, fitness milestones, travel, luxury, glow-ups. It never ends. But here's the thing, you're not comparing yourself to their actual life. You're comparing yourself to the version of their life that they have decided to show you. And without context, it's really easy to assume that they have got it all figured out and you're the one who's behind. I remember scrolling Instagram one night and seeing a woman who I went to school with. She had just launched her 2nd company. She looked amazing in every photo, and she seemed to be living this completely elevated life. And I felt that familiar sting. I should be further along by now. But months later, I ran into someone who knew her and learned that she was quietly going through a divorce and was dealing with serious burnout and had actually taken a step back from her business. What I saw on the outside was not the whole story. It never is. So that is truth number 1. You're comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel, and that's never a fair fight. But even if we stop comparing, there's another layer underneath the pressure that we feel, something almost invisible. So let's talk about that next. Specifically, I want to talk about timelines. Somewhere along the way, we were handed a silent checklist. Finish school by your early 20s. Find your life partner by 30. Buy the house, have the kids, climb the career ladder, preferably in that order. And definitely don't fall behind. But here's the truth. That timeline is made up. It's not biology. It's not fate. It's not the way things are. It's a cultural script. And like all scripts, it changes. In the 1970s, the average age of a first-time mother was 21. Today, it's over 30 in many countries. The same goes for marriage, home ownership, and even career milestones. People are pivoting careers in their 40s, starting companies in their 50s, writing books in their 60s. The goalposts have moved. But no one told our inner critic. For a long time, I followed the script. I went to med school at the right time. I got the degree, the job, the house, checked all the boxes. But I'll be honest, there came a moment when I looked around and thought, is this it? Because ticking the boxes isn't the same as feeling fulfilled. And then I discovered something that changed how I see everything. Some people bloom early. Some people bloom late. But the ones who thrive are the ones who don't panic in the in-between. Let me give you a few examples that helped me to stop obsessing over being behind. Vera Wang didn't design her first wedding dress until she was 40. Julia Child published her first cookbook at 49. Morgan Freeman didn't land a major movie role until he was in his 50s. No one told them that they were too late. And if someone did, they didn't listen. So if you're feeling like you missed your window somehow, let me offer you this. You didn't miss it. You're just not at that part of your story yet. Your timeline isn't broken. It's just different. And that doesn't make it any less valuable or valid. And that's truth number 2. The timeline you're measuring yourself against, it's made up and it's changing all the time. But here's something even more powerful. Even if we all had the same timeline, it still wouldn't work. Why? Because we're not all meant to walk the same path. Quick pause before we move on to truth number 3 though, because if any part of you is thinking, okay, I get this, but I still feel stuck, I created something that might help. It's a free 5-day challenge called The Reset. Each day, I'll send you one short, powerful practice to help you to reconnect with your energy and your focus and your sense of who you are, not who you're supposed to be. You can find the link down below and then you can start anytime. All right, let's keep going because this next truth is the one that helped me to stop chasing other people's lives and start trusting my own. Here's something that I wish someone had told me years ago. You're not on their path because you're not them. Your wiring, your values, your circumstances, your responsibilities, they're not the same as anyone else's. So why would your timeline or your definition of success be? There's a concept in psychology called identity capital. It comes from Dr. Meg Jay's work, and it refers to the collection of experiences and skills and choices that form your sense of self. And here's what's powerful about it. Identity capital isn't always visible, but it's always building, especially during the times when it looks like nothing is happening. I think back to the years that I spent in medicine. I used to think that they were only valuable because of the credentials, but the truth is they gave me something far more enduring: the ability to sit with people in their darkest moments, to make hard decisions under pressure, and to be resilient and deeply empathetic. That identity capital didn't show up on Instagram, but it's the foundation of everything that I do now. You've been building your own capital too, even if it doesn't look successful from the outside. Maybe you've been raising kids, caregiving, going through a tough season, or working in a job that doesn't light you up. It might feel invisible, but it's not meaningless. It's like planting an orchard instead of a garden. With a garden, you get some quick results, fast blooms, immediate reward. But with an orchard, it takes time. Seasons pass, and some years feel quiet. And then one day it starts bearing fruit, more than you ever imagined. So when you feel like your life is moving too slowly, remember, you might be in an orchard season. That doesn't mean that you're falling behind. It means that you're laying down roots. So that's truth number 3. Your path is uniquely wired to your identity, and your growth might not be flashy, but it's still real. But let's be honest, none of this stops the little voice in your head from saying, still, look at them, they're so far ahead. So let's tackle the final truth, and this one might be the most liberating of all. Let's pull back the curtain a little, because there's a sneaky reason you still feel behind, even when you know that timelines are flexible and paths are personal. It's this: you're assuming that they feel certain, that the people who look ahead feel ahead, that they know exactly what they're doing, that they're confident and secure and fulfilled. But here's what I've learned. Most people are winging it way more than you think. They're just better at hiding it. There's actually a term for this in psychology: impression management. It refers to the way that we curate how others perceive us. And in the age of social media, we have become experts at it. We show the job title, not the self-doubt. The smiling couple, not the tense silence. The milestone, not the meltdown. I've done it too. There was a time in my life when everything looked really put together. People told me that they admired what I'd built and that I seemed really confident and successful. But what they didn't see were the mornings I cried in my car before going into work. The moments that I questioned whether I had made all the wrong choices. And the quiet ache of feeling off course but just not knowing how to fix it. If you've ever looked at someone and thought they are so far ahead of me, just know there's a very real chance that they have looked at someone else and thought the exact same thing. You are not seeing anyone's full story, and they are not seeing yours. So instead of obsessing over someone else's polished highlight reel, try asking yourself, what would it look like to be more honest with myself? To measure my life by meaning instead of milestones? Because chasing someone else's version of success, it's never going to bring peace. Only self-honesty can do that. So that is truth number 4. No one has it all figured out. Not really. What you're seeing is a curated illusion, not reality. So now that we have peeled back the truth about timelines, identity, and perception, let's shift gears. I want to give you a simple 3-step process to help you to stop spiraling, to get grounded, and reclaim your own timeline. So let's bring this home. If you are still feeling behind, here's the truth. You're probably much further along than you think. You have just been measuring the wrong things. So how do you actually reclaim your timeline and get out of this spiral of not enoughness? So here are 3 powerful shifts that helped me and might help you too. Starting with number 1, which is to zoom out. Way out. Most people are measuring their lives in days or months, but the most meaningful things like growth and healing and reinvention happen over years. So zoom out. Look at your life in decades, not days. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? What am I building that lasts? What will still matter to me 5 years from now? Sometimes progress doesn't look like a straight line. It looks like preparing the soil. It looks like choosing the harder, more meaningful path that doesn't pay off yet, but will. Step 2, own your identity blueprint. When you're not clear on who you are, you will default to chasing what everyone else seems to want. Take the time to ask yourself, what do I actually value? What kind of life do I want to wake up to each day? And what would success look like on my terms? Once you answer that, you will stop feeling so behind because you'll be on a completely different map. Finally, step number 3 is run a solo race. Stop watching other people's lanes. Pick a way to track your own progress, something tangible, visual, and personal. For me, that might be a journal or a wall calendar where I track effort, not just outcomes. Wins like, I showed up even when I didn't feel ready. I made the harder, more aligned choice. I rested on purpose. Those are the kinds of things that shape a fulfilled life, and they rarely show up in somebody else's feed. You are not behind, you are becoming, and that's a sacred process no matter how long it takes. If you needed a sign today that you are not behind, this is it. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, learning what you need to learn, becoming who you're meant to be. And if you want some help reconnecting with your energy, your identity, and your next chapter, I created a free 5-day challenge called The Reset that I mentioned before. It is short, it's powerful, and it's designed to help you to realign with what actually matters to you. You can grab it using the link below. If you enjoyed this video, I think that you are going to love the video that I have got queued up for you on the next screen, which is about the 5 things that I did to stop wasting my evenings after work. I will see you there. First, tea. Whew, keep forgetting to drink my tea. Okay. Perfect. But the most powerful, I'm getting notifications now. Shoot. Okay, turn that off. Oh my goodness.